What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction. I am just going to, I'm just getting a chance to check out the second part of the interview with Quad and Carlos. So I'm just going to listen to this with you guys and give my reaction to it as we go. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
I have never seen you appear so hurt. I mean, when Simone gave you the blow, I literally... even the episode before that, I think I said this to you. I was like, I couldn't sleep that night because it felt mean girlish. And that's never been y'all show. Y'all show never been about like, we're going to ice one out. It's just never been that. So when
What the heck is he talking about? Like, do you hear yourself? This is what they did to Mariah. And him saying this was very mean girlish and I've just never known you guys to ice anyone out. This has happened on this show before by the creator of it. And him speaking in his nasally voice, and I literally was up all night. I wonder if Andy Cohen sits up all night concerned about the shows that Carlos King is producing. I'm just wondering.
I was like, this seems weird. And I felt bad for you, of course. I also felt bad for the collective. Like, what are we doing here? And then when I saw Simone deliver the blow to you, like, we don't want you here. We want you to go home.
To them this bad, to deserve this.
I saw it. I was like, this seems weird. And I felt bad for you, of course. I also felt bad for the collective. Like, what are we doing here? And then when I saw Simone deliver the blow to you, like, we don't want you here. We want you to go home. What? I was shaking.
Yeah.
And I saw you look sad. Then we saw you cry when you got back to your hotel room. In that moment, though, Quad, did you feel embarrassed, hurt, disappointed, or all of the above?
I hate to even go back there. It was so painful for me. I hate to even have to emotionally be in that place. But this is one of those times where it's just really, really hard. This is the part of reality TV where it's like 3 times the blow. You film it, you watch it, and again, we will revisit it, of course, at the reunion. In that moment, I felt humiliated.
I wonder how Mariah feels, because I saw someone play a clip of when they X'd Mariah out and said that, she wasn't welcome on the trips with them anymore and things like that, and how she has insulted Mariah. How did she feel? So her sitting here and with the somber face and the seriousness and the emotions and whatever, it's like, it's hard to feel empathy for her. It really is.
I felt devalued, actually not valued at all. I felt hurt, disappointment, sadness. I was confused. I kept on, when I went back to my room, I was trying to wrap my mind around, like, why did you really do something to them this bad to deserve this? Did you really do something to deserve this, Quad?
I don't think these were legitimate questions that she was asking herself, because if they were, I think a legitimate response that she should have given herself would have been, yeah, you did do a number of things that you are not admitting.
And I thought back and I replayed things. I went through all the years. And I felt like it wasn't about an even exchange.
She doesn't get it. First of all, she didn't go back over all of the years because, no, she didn't. Because people who don't take accountability like her don't do that. And two, karma usually isn't normally an even exchange. It's usually you've built it up. So when it hits you, it's never exactly what you put out. It's usually worse. And it's supposed to be that way so that people can learn something. And hopefully you learn from that situation and what you did before, and you will not do those things again. But people with the big egos like she has, a lot of times it's hard for them to get it through their thick skulls.
Decision had been made way before I even went to Napa. The decision was made way before I got on the plane. This is what you guys are going to do, or this is what we're going to do in Napa, and that's it. And it was devastating because I truly did not feel that I had earned that I deserved it. I didn't.
So Mariah deserved what she had. And some of you may be saying, girl, you keep talking about Mariah. Well, listen, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Because the seat that she's sitting in right now, and her refusing to take accountability at this point, it is going to constantly be the question, well, how do you think Mariah felt? Period. And for her to say she didn't deserve it, what did Mariah do that was so different than what she did? And I'm not trying to compare, but I'm saying, are you saying that Mariah did things that were worse than what you have done to get people to the point where they didn't have an emotional connection with you, just like you told them you didn't have an emotional connection with them? What the F are you doing there?
I felt like it was just a pile up. Let's all get together and let's do this to her. Mm. There was not even one voice of reason at the table. Not even one. Not even someone saying, hold on, wait a minute, let Quad respond. Hold on, wait a minute. Can you hear what she's saying, Quad? And allow me to respond. And then allow me to say, this is how I feel.
And that's the problem with Quad. You can't have those discussions with her because it always goes back to Quad. When people say what it is, she goes back to, well, this is how you made me feel. When they say, well, you haven't called me. I haven't heard from you in a while. Instead of her responding to say, you know what, you're right. I've been living my life thinking about me, and I haven't thought about you, so I haven't called. No, her response is, well, you haven't called me. You know, it's always about Quad.
I feel there's been some courtesies that's been extended to some people here that you all don't give me. There's a level of respect that some of you have that I just will never have and have not had. Because if anything could be said or done to me on this show, it has been said and done. Now, we all get it. And I don't want people to feel like, oh, here she is playing a victim and all of that. You know, what's funny about that word is when it's strong people are not extended the compassion and the empathy at all. And then when we speak up and have to tell our side of the story. It's like, oh, now they're playing a victim. I'm not a
I'm going to stop it right there, and I may have fast forwarded a little bit, but that's okay because this is long winded, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get through this entirety and do a reaction to the whole thing. But is it being the strong person, or is it being bullheaded, and you just can't really get through to you because you're always right? So I don't agree with her saying, well, when it's the strong person and then you express emotions or whatever, then it's, oh, here you go playing the victim. No, you are playing the victim. You're bullheaded. You're not strong, you know? You always feel that you're right. It's always somebody else's, the problem or the issue, or what about me? What about my feelings? What about what that person said to me or what they did to me? Just like when she had so much smoke for Toya and Dr. Eugene. And when Dr. Eugene confronted her on that last season's reunion, and he asked her, like, he was serious. He said, why do you keep talking about us?
Strong people are not extended the compassion and the empathy at all. And then when we speak up and have to tell our side of the story, it's like, oh, now they're playing a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm just here to tell my story. I'm just trying to help you to understand. And can we meet somewhere in the middle where I can take the responsibility of what I've done to you? But please, take the responsibility of what you've done to me. And that's all that I was actually trying to say at the resurrection. I didn't even want to get into the things that have been said about me. Hell, I think maybe Toya did an interview or something with you and was like, oh, Quad is ugly and Quad is this and Quad is that without her hair and without her makeup and, just carrying on. I'm like, what is all of that? What is that for? What is that about?
And it makes me laugh with Quad trying to sit there and act like she's just so above the petty drama. When we saw her getting good with Anila, or, that's what she was attempting to do. She wanted to divide and conquer because she saw Anila as an easy mark, which she was. And I'm not saying that Anila is a victim of Quad because she chose to allow that to be. But she loved it when Anila brought her friend to Quad's Christmas party, open house, whatever, she wanted to call it, to show off her new mansion that she bought herself. That's what she was bragging about. And she knew that ambush was going to happen when they were going to accuse Toya of cheating on her husband. She was there for it. So for her to try to act like, oh no, we're not going to have all this drama in my house, because that was when the girl who was on there that last season, what was her name? The one that had just gotten married and found out she was pregnant, when she went overboard for me, and I could see why they didn't bring her back, going off on Toya and talking about, their tax problems and stuff like that. We all know that Toya and her husband has had financial issues. Like, come with something new. And honestly, just leave it alone. And she did too much. She really did too much. But with Quad sitting there acting like she was just this, her word, victim, but saying she's not playing the victim, she is. She continues to do that.
Do you hate me? That's fine. And I can leave you where you are if that's where you want to. If you want to stew there, then you hold on to that anger. Toya, I'm not here to hold on to that anger. And I was not there in Napa. I didn't come with malice. I didn't come with cruel intent. I didn't come being mad or negative. I came with good heart posture, humble and supportive.
That's a freaking lie. I'm sorry, I had to laugh on that. The woman who rolled up in the funeral home in a coffin came out of the coffin wearing white, saying, I'm here, I'm alive and well and quite swell. That was her definition of coming before them being humble. Girl, I can't even get through the rest of this. I can't even do a reaction to the rest of this interview because she is full of it. I'm sorry. I was going to try, but the remainder of this is like 40 minutes long, and I don't even think you all can stomach it, and I'm not even going to drag you through the rest of that. There's just no accountability when it comes to her. There's nothing new. There's new her, way of doing the soliloquies and the long and drawn out responses and answers, and Carlos sitting there looking so serious, and I literally, like, tapping her on the leg when he said that. I literally sat up all night when I saw that they just iced you out. It just was so mean, girl. What the hell is he talking about? This fool who has a narcissistic ex-husband, low-key stalker of his ex-wife, who was attempting to put out revenge, PORN, on his ex-wife on the internet, has this clown on one of his reality shows, and he's spending his nights thinking about Married to Medicine. It shows why his shows is not really getting the views that it could get. No, I know OWN is not Bravo TV. He's not Andy Cohen. He's aspiring to be. But I wonder if Andy Cohen is sitting up thinking about Bell Collective, or Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage Detroit, or Love and Marriage DC. I wonder if he was sitting there wondering, when is Love and Marriage DC coming back? And surely I'm joking, right? But I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. I cannot get through the rest of this interview with Quad. She's just, it's a hard listen. I honestly could only really listen to Nene in the interview he did with her, because one, it was like his first one, and two, it was like one of the first real sit-down interviews that she's done in a very long time. So, of course, I was going to listen to that, but it's hard for me to listen to Nene because she is similar, where she doesn't take accountability and responsibility for her own actions. It's always somebody else's fault. And people like this get on my freaking nerve. And someone like myself, who is giving up the right for the wrong in a lot of situations, and just overly sometimes apologetic, even when I don't owe anyone an apology, it's like, I don't get people who cannot take any type of accountability. It makes me angry. Honestly, it makes me angry. And I could understand why these ladies didn't want to continue to be around her, and for them to sit there and have her say in their face, well, I don't have an emotional connection with any of you ladies, but I am trying. I would be like them too. Like, you don't have to try. Get the F out of here. Go home. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. And I'll be fine if I don't see you. I can understand that. Okay. So save the, oh, well, Toya was calling me ugly and talking about what I look like without my wigs and makeup on. Who cares? That's petty bullcrap. And Quad, she can dish it as much as she doesn't really like to take it, but she can dish it too. So I'm not seeing her in a victim space of Toya talking about her looks when this woman was accusing her of cheating on her husband. Like Toya said, did you want me to be divorced? I felt that from Toya's soul when she said that, because I've said this before. I do believe that Quad has some jealousy towards Toya, and I'm not saying she wants Toya's husband, but I am saying she is envious. Whether, I don't care if Toya and her husband moved every 3 months of the year into a new place. That's their life. I don't have to pack up and move with them. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. I used to joke on it and stuff too, just like almost everyone else. So yeah, but no one can deny that man really loves his wife. And I believe she loves Eugene too. And I do believe that they have a good friendship. And just like any marriage, they have had their issues, their ups and downs. And, them throwing jabs. Oh, yeah, Toya, she's really great at playing tennis. She's living a life that she enjoys living, that her husband is affording her. And he's working very hard to have the type of life that she wants to live. And that's fine. I ain't got nothing but respect for that, okay? He ain't robbing nobody. She ain't stealing from anybody. He's working hard in his profession, and I don't have a problem with that. Quad honestly would love to be a kept woman. And the husband that she had before, they were not a good match. They were not a good fit for each other. Quad was not interested in having no kids. Dr. G wanted a family. Dr. Gene, he wanted a family. Toya gave that to him. She is jealous of Toya. She is. And yeah, Toya was nasty in the beginning, talking about, Dr. G calling off the divorce and all that other stuff. In the first season, you all remember that. I get that because I didn't care for Toya in the beginning too, from what she exhibited. But I just can't get through the rest of this interview. So I'm going to stop it here. If you guys listen to the rest of it, let me know what else she said in the comment section because I don't really care to listen to anymore. I just wanted to try to do a reaction to this interview, the second part, but I can't even get through it, guys. I cannot even lie to you. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I am Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.